Welcome everybody to episode 5 of impulseSVCraft, season 5, right here on impulseSV's SMP Patreon server. And that is a mouthful to say, and eventually I will stop putting that in my intros. But for now, since this is a new series, I think I'll keep doing it. Episode 4, you saw me build the windmill that's behind me, and at the beginning of this episode was a time lapse of some of the landscaping that I have done around it. Now this is the first time I've played Minecraft in which I didn't start with crops, with trying to, gather wheat and carrots and potatoes and all these different crops, because it's an easy staple, easy food source that you can have early on in the game, especially if you're trying to, say, create a season or play the game where you're trying to achieve every single advancement, all 80 vanilla, I believe there's 80 of them, vanilla advancements in order to signify the end of your season. I actually am trying to do that now in a different series. We'll see how that goes, because I have never actually reached all 80 achievements. That should be fun. But not having to really grow my own crops or gather my own food entering in halfway through Season 5, I just kind of neglected it, ignored it, and was playing other games and doing other things around the server. So after building the windmill, I thought, alright, it's time. We have to use the windmill as it was intended to be, a storage silo or maybe stables for horses. All these different things, these different ideas that we can actually do with this structure. So that's what we're going to do. And before we hop into the skeleton XP farm that I had built, which is kind of a special one, please stick around for that. I figured I would just go into the shaders, or turn on the shaders, and kind of show you a little bit of what we were able to accomplish. The path itself will end up winding around to the house, and we'll finish landscaping with custom trees and extend our custom cliff and maybe retaining wall over there as well. That's obviously another episode. But we ended up putting some mini blocks in. There's some mini barrels, and creating our retaining wall, or separating. Hi. Oh, that's right. I need to breed him. But we ended up making our walls look like they were overgrown, maybe not maintained very well. That's kind of the whole purpose of that. And then a well-lit field of wheat. This area over here, I have some ideas for. Maybe a village with some smaller builds in it and some additional little roadways around. But we'll get to that in the future. Let's run up here, up the path, and we'll show you that the path does go all the way around the building. It's not, and look at that, interior is not decorated at all. That, we'll fix that later. Path narrows in a little bit. Now, I really liked how it narrows in, and here's why. I'm a symmetrical builder. I like when things are very, very symmetrical. Can you tell? Look at the look at the house. One side is the same as the other. Otherwise, it just doesn't. It gets under my skin. The four corners are all towers, which I eventually need to show you guys how I built those. But, again, another episode. So, to have the path narrow in, or, for instance, to have the crops too close to the windmill, or the windmill not centered in the crops, that's real life, is what that is. But it's not me. So, pushing myself past, or out of that comfort zone, I really enjoy that. I like that. That's what I'm going to use this for. So, we got some barrels lying around. This one's full of carrots, and I figure the carrot field, wheat, and potato that we have here, I will actually harvest those over and over. Well, we will stop harvesting those once the kitchen inside our house is full, which is where all the wheat is. Right now it just seeds, which I need to turn into bone meal. But these two barrels will be full of carrots, and the one in the kitchen will be full, and then I'll stop harvesting the carrots, and it'll just be decoration at that point. You should know, we did a little bit of lighting tricks here. No, there's some more. We hid some lighting around so we don't have any unwanted spawns. Did our own little grasses and flowers. And then the potato farm as well. Each farm separated by a very similar wall. I'll take a fly here in a second, and we'll show you from the air. We have another custom tree on this side as well. Eventually more and more custom trees. I really enjoy those. Those are not, in my opinion, or for me at least, easy to build. But it didn't turn out too bad. We'll have to get different styles in there. And then this is the path less taken by whomever owns this, right? If we're telling a story with our builds, then this is a very poorly maintained, very unused path through here. Because why would they use it? They can go around the other way. And then we have the special custom wall that we built, which let's hop on down, and I'll show you that real quick. Eventually I'd like, as I've said many times before, to have every single block in this 15 by 15 chunk base have the surface modify. I want to actually, no vanilla block. I want to design or landscape all of it. And we're going to get there, but in order to do that, we have to do things like this. We have to think through all of the landscaping, all of the building structures, and where they're going to be placed. So when I got to this area, I thought, all right, let's try to copy what we did over here, but yet give it some life. Maybe some a spring coming out of the side of the cliff, some of our own vines, natural vines, because we don't take care of anything around here, right? But some of our own plants that actually have grown over the sides as well. Maybe we planted a bush up top and we just haven't trimmed it. Those kind of ideas is what I was shooting for here. Down at the base, again, some of the gravel and dirt has piled up against the side and allowed natural growth. So just it's those little details that I really like to think about, because again, not even in real life do I think about those details all the time. Same thing with storytelling. I would definitely want to be able to tell a story with this. But for now, that's enough looking around the landscaping and explaining that. Hopefully in future episodes you'll see a lot more of that. And I do actually intend also to bring some of the other imps into this base and help me with a few builds, but I might have some ideas of how to do that, and we'll see if it works out. Anyway, for now, let's cut into a time lapse, or at least we're going to go over to a time lapse where I built a structure around a double skeleton spawner. Now, we've been lucky enough on this base to have naturally found a triple spider cave spawner. I didn't move any of those spawners. I didn't ask the moderators of the server to do so. Now, that's not the truth. That's not what happened with the skeletons. I did find 2 skeleton spawners within the caves in our base, and I asked, using one of the mod coins that I collected by helping out on the server, I asked that the moderators move one closer to the other so I could create a double skeleton spawner. Otherwise, I wasn't really sure I was going to make a skeleton XP farm, and really this isn't going to be for XP that as much as it's going to be just to collect bones. I don't need arrows. I'm more of an infinity kind of guy when it comes to arrows, but if I can collect bones for bone meal and sell that or use it, obviously I've got a lot of landscaping to do, so bone meal is definitely what it's going to be. Bone block, and just other stuff like that as well. So that's what we're going to do next. Let's hop on down to the caves, and I'll show you some of the time lapse of me building, and then we'll come back and I'll give you a little shader tour of that as well. Oh my gosh, guys, I cannot believe that happened. That's the second time on this server that a creeper has come up and surprised me like that. I just hang my head in shame. So sorry, guys, you had to see that. But anyway, let's go down. I've finished up some of the decorations. I've finished up what I wanted to do with the farm, and I think it turned out real well. I could use some comments from you guys, any suggestions that you have, but flip over to a different view here and head on down. So as you guys remember, the spider farm, and we've done some upgrades in here on this. I got another different way to collect the experience and to collect some of the drops, but maybe go over that later. But really the lighting is where I spend a lot of the time upgrading this. Everywhere where you see one of the lanterns, I went ahead and put lighting underneath the floor and used a piece of carpet. And I like that effect because then anywhere where there's a lamp, even though it's a soul lamp, it still puts off light, obviously, but not enough to keep things from spawning. So using this trick here with the flooring lighting right next to those, it works real well. So if you guys know or at least remember what this looked like, there used to be spider heads on both sides of this stack of chests, and I have once again made it symmetrical. But now we have the ability to walk through. I have found a cavern, right? That's the story. The villagers, as they come down here and they collect all they need here with the spiders and string and everything, that they basically are protecting themselves with a double door from I guess an old abandoned dungeon, I guess is what we can call this. But I like it. I like the blackstone. I like the basalt. Some gilded blackstones in here as well, and the same floor tricks with the lighting that we put on here. So works really well. I had the worst time with things spawning in this hallway as I was working, and I guess I should have just started with the lights, but I didn't. So as we come through here, we come around. Oh, I'm stuck. And we open up into... Oh! Okay, where did you come from? Hang on, let me kill him and I'll show you where he came from. Okay, and he sets me on fire. It never ends. Never ends. Alright. Let's eat a little bit here. Make sure we don't die. And I'll show you where my staging area was. This little hole here is where my staging area was, and I decided to keep it open so that I could get in and out. Apparently I need to do a little bit, maybe lighting this spot up right here. I think that's where that guy spawned. That's the only place I know where that guy could have spawned. Maybe that'll work. You shouldn't be able to see that later. Ooh, I hear more. Oh! Okay. This is great, guys. Holy cow. Where did all these guys come from? Oh, 3 of them. Okay, I know there's not a zombie spawner back there. I've been down back there a million times. It almost died. Alright. Now that my heart's back out of my throat and back where it should be, let's go do a little exploring real quick here. I mean, it's lit up. Maybe they're spawning up here. Or in one of the mine shafts. We've got to clear all this out, make it safer. Hey, here we go. Maybe we have an idea where they're going to come from now. Let's take care of this guy. There we go. Okay, alright. Let's run back here. Where are they coming from? Right here? There's no way that's possible. It's got to be light enough. Guys, I don't know. I really thought I spent enough time going through lighting all this up. Let's get back to the tour, though. That's the whole point of this, not you guys watch me die. Alright, so here's the big reveal after dealing with all the zombies coming out of there. We walk in, and there's our Skeleton XP farm entrance. It's a big skull made of blackstone, some basalt, some nether brick, and gilded stone. I just wanted to make kind of a dark skull. And it is dark. I could maybe use some advice on how to light this a little differently. I do enjoy how the eyes are lit up, using honestly just lava up in there. We have lava on both sides of the bridge. with smoke. Obviously that's just a campfire trick it's hidden underneath the blocks. I do have some ideas as far as the walls. Right now the walls are just black concrete, and the ceiling is as well. And I was thinking maybe bringing more of the blackstone and basalt pillars down, not all the way to the ground, because then in between the lava and the walls or the pillars coming down, I thought maybe using the same smoke effect, or the mirror effects, not mirror, the glass effects to get fog, and to have that disappear out into the distance, where really it may be just 10 layers of glass thick to achieve that. Obviously this area is not mined out enough to do something like that, but I think that'd be cool to walk through here and all you see is the skull, and then past it in the distance would just be as far as you could see, or at least you'd think it would, right? That's the illusion with the fog. So okay, so let's go inside and we'll show you how this works. Got a 2x2 piston door. That's vertical this time. I didn't have any room to go side to side, so that works out really well. And just enough spot, space right, above here to actually have that work out. And this is very simplistic, more of a storage design than anything. I didn't go overboard with decorations. It's more just functional for storage. Over here to the side, you'll have all of our arrows, as we can see, and all of our stackable items, basically, including the bone. Now the bone, I'll pull out of here every once in a while, use the crafting table to then store that as bone meal. And when I get enough bone meal, I turn around and I'll store it as bone block. So by the end of this, or I shouldn't say by the end of the season, but hopefully maybe by the end of the week, I'll have all this full of bone meal, bone block, and we'll have everything we'll need as far as resources from the skeletons. I did put some decorations here and there just to kind of spruce up the place a little bit as we collect more gold armor from the skeletons. I'll finish that armor stand. And then the non-stackable items are on this side. All the bows and the armor, the skeleton heads that we get on the server from this are there as well. I do like to always have a grindstone available, as I take extra XP by disenchanting the drops that we get, and the good drops are here. I did get a couple Unbreaking 3s and a couple Infinities. Now, do I need those right now? No. On this server at this point in the season, I really don't need to keep those. Early game, this is great to have. If you find a skeleton spawner within the first couple Minecraft days, and you can create this, then my gosh, it just gets you so much resources so quick, and it's great. Same thing with with actually smelting the iron and the gold armor that you get from it. This is not going to make us rich at this point on this season, but this is habit for me that I like to go ahead and put a smelting system in, so I can grab a little bit of gold and a little bit of iron, or again, early in the game, typically at least. So let's go upstairs, and I will show you the brain of this whole thing. Again, very simple design, nothing to it, just something comfortable that I can come in AFK and without worrying about dying. Probably will end up putting some more decorations in here just to make it feel complete, but it's not bad. It'll work. I'm gonna again use the armor stand just to collect some skeleton heads and some additional armor. And really above us we have the two spawners. I guess it's important to say that we did not create a water elevator and drop. We didn't pre-injure these skeletons where it's just a one-hit kill. Again, it's what I've been talking about this whole time. Early in the game, that'd be a great thing to do, so you're not wasting your sword, you're not wasting your resources. But I've got mending on everything, and mending books are cheap in the shopping district, so really not too worried. I'm gonna say they're not spawning. What happened? But there they come. It's really not too bad just to hit them 2 or 3 times and get their drops that way. So let's real quickly. Show you. I'm going to cover this up. I think I'm going to break this one. I'll just do it now, and then probably put a piece of blackstone there later. But in between the storage and this area is the sorting system. So you can see, everybody I'm sure will recognize it. It's Impulse's sorting system. Typically use a water trough for this, but iron, it's free right now. I can go over to spawn and grab as much as I want. So might as well just use the hoppers and not worry about the water at this point. Items come down, they go through. Everything through this hopper chain goes over that's non-stackable. The hopper chains over here are the arrows and the bone. So, works really well. Real simple. It doesn't take much to set that up. And we won't have any problems with it. So, iron I'm sure this week I'm going to stand here and just AFK and fill up my chest, gather all the material I want, get back to my 90 to 100 levels that I typically like to carry, and we'll be set to go, guys. Hopefully I'll be selling some of this stuff in the shopping district soon, and I might look at the efficiency of our system over here with some bones sitting over there, but I'll look at that later. Guys, if you like it, or if you have any, well, if you like it, hit the like button. If you have any suggestions, always welcome. I always like to hear, hey, why don't you use certain blocks to do certain things, add different effects. If you're a lighting expert, let me know, because I could always use some suggestions on lighting. Other than that, guys, have a great, wonderful week. I'll see you in episode 6. Bye.